What if America's most affordable grocery store was about to become a luxury? It sounds crazy, but major changes are coming to Aldi, and your grocery bill is in the crosshairs. Welcome back to Smart Shopper Central. Today, we're sounding the alarm on a critical deadline. We have intel on significant price increases and potential stock shortages set to hit every Aldi aisle right after August 31st. This isn't just about a few cents here and there, we're talking about a fundamental shift that could erase the savings you depend on. In this urgent video, I'm revealing the 10 essential items you need to stock up on from Aldi before this deadline passes. We'll cover pantry staples, frozen goods, and those European imports that are at the biggest risk. If you want to protect your wallet from the coming price storm, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's get started. 10. The Italian pantry under pressure. Take a walk down the pasta aisle at your local Aldi. It's a familiar, comforting sight. Shelves lined with bags of fusilli, boxes of linguine, and those signature glass jars of tomato sauce. All at prices that seem almost too good to be true. This section has long been a cornerstone for budget-conscious meal planning, but a storm is gathering over the Mediterranean that threatens to wash away these bargains. The foundation of Italian cuisine, durum wheat, is facing an unprecedented crisis. For the second consecutive year, severe drought conditions have decimated harvests in Italy, with yields dropping by a staggering 11%. This isn't just a minor agricultural blip, it's a foundational supply chain problem that will inevitably find its way to your local store. Compounding the issue are the soaring costs of getting these goods from Europe to the United States. Container shipping rates have skyrocketed by 65% in just the last year, adding a significant expense that will be passed directly to the consumer. Insiders are already reporting that Aldi is placing allocation limits on its premium pasta lines, meaning stores are no longer guaranteed to receive their full orders. The same pressure is building on sauces. Tomato crops in key growing regions like California and Spain have been scorched by relentless heat waves, causing global tomato prices to jump 19% since May. What does this mean for your grocery list? That reliable $1.49 jar of marinara could soon carry a price tag closer to $2. While it may seem like a small increase, these incremental changes quickly add up, potentially costing a family hundreds of extra dollars per year on this single pantry staple. Pasta and sauce are more than just dinner. They are shelf-stable, versatile, and provide crucial energy, making them a go-to in times of economic uncertainty. Stocking up now is a strategic hedge against the inevitable price hikes and potential shortages looming on the horizon. 9. The European cheese counter's last stand. Aldi has long served as an accessible gateway to the rich, diverse world of European cheeses. It's where you can find a creamy French brie, a sharp Irish cheddar, or a nutty Dutch Gouda without paying specialty store prices. This affordable luxury, however, is on the verge of becoming just that, a luxury. A perfect storm of trade disputes and agricultural challenges is set to dramatically inflate the prices of these imported favorites. The most immediate threat comes from escalating trade tensions, which have resulted in new tariffs that could increase the cost of European dairy exports by as much as 27%. This financial pressure is applied directly to products that are already facing supply constraint. Last winter, a severe outbreak of barn influenza swept through France, leading to a devastating 15% reduction in the country's cow herds. Fewer cows mean less milk, which translates directly to reduced cheese production. This scarcity is already being felt in the wholesale market, where importers report that the cost of bulk Gouda has doubled in the past year alone. For the average shopper, this will soon translate to a significant price shock. The wedge of Irish cheddar, currently priced at an affordable $3.99, is projected to climb to $6.49 or even higher by the fall. History shows that during uncertain times, people turn to comfort foods, and cheese is high on that list. During the 2020 lockdowns, demand for cheese surged by over 23%, leading to widespread shortages and rationing in some stores. The good news is that many hard and semi-hard cheeses freeze exceptionally well, retaining their flavor and texture for up to 8 months. By buying now, you are essentially locking in today's prices and building a delicious, comforting buffer against future market volatility. 8. The coming olive oil squeeze. The golden-hued bottle of extra virgin olive oil found on Aldi's shelves is one of the store's most underrated treasures. It offers exceptional quality at a price point that competitors struggle to match. However, this staple of healthy cooking is facing an existential threat from extreme weather events in its primary production regions. Spain and Italy, which together supply about 70% of the world's olive oil, are in the grip of a second consecutive year of historic droughts. The intense heat and lack of water have devastated olive groves, causing yields to plummet by 37%, the most severe drop recorded since 1995. This is not a temporary setback, but a deep-seated agricultural crisis that will have long-lasting effects on global supply. While supply is shrinking, global demand continues to rise. Large-scale food companies and restaurant chains, aware of the impending shortage, are actively stockpiling reserves, further tightening the market for consumers. To make matters worse, looming European Union tariffs are expected to triple, jumping from 10% to 30%, adding another layer of cost. Logistics experts are already sounding the alarm, reporting that Aldi-bound shipments are being delayed at ports as the supply chain begins to break down. That reliable 1-liter bottle of olive oil, currently sitting at around $7.99, is forecasted to reach $12 or more by mid-September. The smart move is to act now. High-quality extra virgin olive oil, when stored in a cool, dark place, maintains its quality for 18 to 24 months. Given that fats and oils are projected to see inflation rates of over 5% next year, every bottle purchased today is a direct investment in your future grocery budget, saving you from the much higher prices that are just around the corner. 7. The underestimated protein powerhouse. Let's discuss a pantry hero that often flies under the radar: peanut butter. Specifically, Aldi's Simply Nature Organic Creamy Peanut Butter, a fan favorite for its quality and incredible price point of just $3. This item is more than just a spread for toast. It's a strategic purchase that's about to become much more expensive. A convergence of agricultural challenges and shifting consumer habits is creating the ideal conditions for a significant price hike. According to recent USDA reports, peanut harvests in the American South have declined by 14%. This drop is a direct result of severe weather patterns, including extreme flooding and the spread of fungal diseases that have damaged crops. This supply-side pressure is happening at the exact moment demand is surging. Consumer preference for organic and natural nut butters has grown by an impressive 22% over the last year, as more households move away from products containing hydrogenated oils and artificial ingredients. This dynamic of shrinking supply and rising demand is already affecting costs at the source. Farmers in key growing states are reporting that processors are offering double the price to secure their limited supply of peanuts. This upstream cost will inevitably be passed down to shoppers in the coming months. Beyond its price, peanut butter is a remarkably efficient survival food. A single tablespoon contains 8 grams of protein, and it remains shelf-stable for over a year without refrigeration. During previous supply chain disruptions, it was one of the first items to disappear from shelves because it provides cheap, reliable protein. Every jar you purchase now is a tangible saving against the higher prices that are just around the corner. 6. The foundation of countless meals. Canned tomatoes are the unsung heroes of the kitchen pantry, and Aldi's selection is a cornerstone for budget-savvy cooks. From diced and crushed varieties to rich marinara sauces, these products provide the base for countless recipes at a fraction of the cost of their fresh counterparts. However, this affordable staple is on a direct path to significant price increases. The problem begins in California, the heart of America's tomato production. The state is currently enduring its 4th straight year of drought, a long-term crisis that has forced farmers to reduce their tomato acreage by 23% compared to the 5-year average. With domestic production severely hampered, the logical next step would be to rely on imports. Unfortunately, the international supply chain offers no relief. Europe's key tomato-growing regions, particularly in Spain and Italy, have been scorched by record-breaking heat wave. These extreme weather events destroyed nearly 18% of their crops last season, creating a global shortage. As a result, the wholesale price for tomato paste has already surged by 30% since June, an increase that will soon be reflected on retail shelves. A 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes at Aldi might cost $1.09 today, but that price is expected to approach $1.89 by the fall. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a fundamental shift in the cost of a foundational ingredient, used in soups, stews, chilies, and pasta dishes. Canned tomatoes are not only versatile but also packed with nutrients like vitamin C and lycopene. They have a shelf life of up to 2 years, making them an ideal item to stock up on. Securing a supply now ensures your pantry is prepared for future meals without succumbing to the inflated prices that are imminent. 5. Securing your nutritional safety net. The frozen vegetable aisle at Aldi has long been a destination for convenience and value. A bag of frozen broccoli for $1.19 is an easy, affordable way to add nutrients to any meal. Soon, however, this section will be less about convenience and more about essential food security. The frozen produce category is poised to become one of the most valuable assets in your freezer, as fresh produce prices become increasingly volatile. Extreme weather is wreaking havoc on agriculture worldwide. In California, where a majority of the nation's broccoli and spinach is grown, farmers are grappling with the dual impact of prolonged droughts and sudden destructive floods. These conditions have led to yield losses of up to 30%. Simultaneously, the cost of farming essentials remains stubbornly high. Global fertilizer prices are still 40% above pre-pandemic levels, making it financially unfeasible for many farmers to plant at their usual capacity. This combination of lower yields and reduced planting creates a significant supply crunch that will drive up prices for fresh vegetables. In response, grocery chains are prioritizing shipments of frozen goods, anticipating a surge in demand as shoppers seek more stable alternatives. Frozen vegetables offer a distinct advantage. They can be stored for up to 24 months without losing their nutritional value, whereas fresh options perish within a week. This makes them a reliable source of vitamins and minerals during times of uncertainty. Proactive shoppers are already taking notice, and it's time you did too. Stocking your freezer now is a smart defensive move against the market instability that lies ahead. The coming protein price shock. The meat aisle at Aldi has long been a reliable source of affordable protein. But a gathering storm in the agricultural sector is about to send prices soaring. The steady climb has already begun. Lean ground beef that was priced at $3.49 a pound just 6 months ago is now frequently ticketed at $4.29, a significant 23% increase. This is not a temporary fluctuation, but the leading edge of a much larger trend. The core of the problem lies in the skyrocketing cost of animal feed. Corn and soybean prices have surged by 32% due to global shortages and logistical disruptions, making it far more expensive for farmers to raise cattle and poultry to market weight. This economic pressure is forcing difficult decisions on farms across the country. Adding to the crisis, the resurgence of avian flu has led to an 11% reduction in national chicken flocks, creating a severe supply constraint in the poultry market. Insiders report that processors are now rejecting underweight birds because they cannot meet the demand with smaller yields, which means less chicken is making it to grocery store shelves. The USDA has issued stark warnings, forecasting that beef and poultry prices could jump by an additional 18–22% before the end of the year. For the average family, this translates into a substantial increase in their grocery budget. That package of chicken drumsticks, currently priced at $2.49 per pound, could easily reach $3.29 by September. This is where strategic shopping becomes essential. By purchasing meat in bulk now, portioning it, and using a vacuum sealer for long-term freezer storage, you can lock in today's prices. Quality meat can be preserved for up to 9 months in a deep freezer, providing a buffer against the inevitable price hikes. 3. The foundation of food security. While they may not be the most exciting items on your shopping list, dry staples like rice and beans are the bedrock of a well-stocked pantry, and they are on the verge of a major price correction. A 2-pound bag of long-grain rice at Aldi currently costs around $2.99, with pinto beans not far behind at $1.79. These prices are set to become a fond memory due to severe disruptions in the global grain market. Recent reports indicate that India, the world's largest exporter of rice, has implemented a 20% export tax and slashed its export volume by 10 million tons. This drastic measure was a direct response to a failed monsoon season, and it has already caused global rice futures to spike by 37% since May. The situation is just as precarious for beans. Key producers in South America, including Brazil, have announced significant reductions in acreage due to persistent fertilizer shortages. This means the global supply of beans is tightening just as demand for affordable plant-based protein is rising. For Aldi shoppers, this will translate directly to higher costs at the checkout. That $2.09 bag of rice is projected to climb towards $3.50 by Labor Day. It is crucial to remember that these staples offer more than just cheap calories. A single cup of cooked beans provides 15 grams of protein and nearly half of your daily fiber requirement. When combined with rice, they form a complete protein with all essential amino acids, making them an incredibly efficient nutritional source. These foods are an investment in your family's food security, with a shelf life that can extend beyond 10 years when stored properly. 2. Your morning ritual under threat. For many, the morning cup of coffee is a non-negotiable ritual, but the affordability of this daily staple is in serious jeopardy. Aldi's coffee aisle, particularly its popular Beaumont and Barissimo brands, is about to reflect a crisis brewing in the world's primary coffee-growing regions. Brazil and Colombia, which together supply roughly 80% of the beans for these brands, are facing immense agricultural challenges. Brazil is currently in a low-yield year of its natural coffee production cycle, a problem that has been severely compounded by an ongoing drought. At the same time, Colombia's coffee crops have seen a 15% decline in output due to the rampant spread of fungal diseases like coffee rust. This supply crunch is being exacerbated by international trade politics. Proposed U.S. tariffs on Brazilian imports could potentially double the cost of green coffee beans by September if the negotiations fail. The impact is already beginning to ripple through the market. A bag of coffee that cost $5.49 today could easily approach the $9.99 mark before the end of the year. Reports from shoppers in different regions already show prices beginning to creep upward. While cafes are preparing to raise their prices significantly, brewing at home remains the most cost-effective option. Stocking up on whole beans now allows you to lock in the current price, saving you hundreds of dollars over the next year. Whole beans stored in an airtight container can maintain their freshness for over a year, ensuring your morning ritual remains an affordable pleasure rather than a luxury expense. The disappearing affordable indulgent. The final item on this urgent list is one of life's simple pleasures: chocolate. Aldi's imported chocolate brands like Moser Roth and Chaucer have long been celebrated for offering European quality at an unbeatable price. Unfortunately, this affordable luxury is facing an unprecedented global crisis. Cocoa prices have skyrocketed by an astonishing 200% in the last year alone, reaching all-time highs. This dramatic surge is the result of catastrophic crop failures in West Africa, where Ghana and the Ivory Coast produce over 60% of the world's cocoa supply. A combination of disease and poor weather has decimated harvests for the second consecutive year. On top of these agricultural woes, new international regulations aimed at curbing child labor in the cocoa industry are tightening supply chains, adding both costs and delays to the importation process. The wholesale market is already in a state of alarm, with suppliers warning that cocoa prices will likely double again by September. This will inevitably be reflected on Aldi's shelves. That signature Moser Roth dark chocolate bar, currently priced around $49, will soon see a significant increase, with some coastal stores already reporting prices closer to $3. In fact, Aldi has already begun discontinuing some of its seasonal chocolate offerings because it can no longer source the cocoa at a competitive price. Chocolate is more than just a sweet treat, it's a source of comfort and a mood booster, making it a highly sought-after item during stressful economic times. High-quality dark chocolate can be stored for up to 2 years without losing its rich flavor. Building a small stockpile now is a wise move, ensuring you have this simple comfort on hand before it is priced as a true luxury item. Bonus 1. The hidden cost of baking staples. A well-stocked pantry often includes the foundational elements for baking, and items like flour and sugar are typically taken for granted as perpetually cheap staples. However, the market forces governing these basic goods are signaling a significant shift that will soon be felt in the baking aisle at Aldi. All-purpose flour, a cornerstone of countless recipes, is facing upward price pressure due to unpredictable weather patterns in the American Midwest. Key wheat-growing states have experienced a volatile mix of drought and flooding, which has impacted crop yields and quality. This domestic instability is compounded by ongoing disruptions in the global grain market, which limit the availability of affordable imported wheat to offset any shortfalls. The result is a tighter supply chain where costs are steadily rising for producers, and those increases are invariably passed on to the consumer. Similarly, the price of sugar is on an upward trajectory. Brazil and India, two of the world's largest sugar exporters, are both facing production challenges. Brazil's sugarcane harvest has been hampered by adverse weather, while India has implemented export restrictions to protect its domestic supply. This has created a squeeze on the global market, causing raw sugar prices to climb. For Aldi shoppers, this means the dependable 5-pound bag of flour and 4-pound bag of sugar are likely to see price increases of 15 to 20% in the coming months. While these items are not as prone to dramatic shortages as others on this list, their rising cost will affect the budget of anyone who enjoys home baking. Stocking up now on these long-lasting essentials is a simple and effective way to insulate your pantry from the coming inflation and ensure your baking projects remain affordable. Bonus 2. The coming squeeze on cooking oils. Beyond the specific threat to olive oil, the entire category of cooking oils at Aldi is facing a period of significant price instability. Canola, vegetable, and sunflower oils are essential for everyday cooking, from frying to sautéing, and their affordability is a key reason many shoppers choose Aldi. This price advantage, however, is being eroded by a complex web of global agricultural and economic factors. The production of seed oils is highly sensitive to climate conditions and geopolitical events. Canada, a primary producer of canola, has seen its harvests impacted by drought conditions in recent years, tightening the global supply. Meanwhile, the conflict in Eastern Europe continues to disrupt the production and export of sunflower oil, as Ukraine is one of the world's largest suppliers. These specific crop issues are magnified by broader trends in the agricultural sector. The persistently high cost of fertilizer and fuel increases the overhead for farmers, forcing them to charge more for their raw products. Furthermore, there is growing demand for these same oils in the production of biofuels, creating competition that drives up prices for food consumers. This convergence of factors means that the large, budget-friendly jugs of cooking oil that are a staple at Aldi will not remain at their current price point for long. Analysts predict a steady increase across the entire category. Since these oils have a long shelf life when stored in a cool, dark place, purchasing a few extra bottles before the end of August is a prudent financial decision. It secures a vital kitchen ingredient at today's price, protecting your grocery budget from the inevitable increases that are just over the horizon.